everybody, and welcome to Spirituality Gone Wild. I am Debbie G, Debbie Gratitude. It is beautiful to be here. You are joining us in a cup of grata with a shot of expression and two squirts of reality. And today I literally have truth chills just even thinking about this guest I have because she writes and shares about two of my favorite subjects, grace and gratitude. Deborah Perdue is the author of 5 books, and her very favorite topic and passion is gratitude. Y'all know we love this. And guess what? You need to stay tuned. I'm going to tell you all how to download a free version of one of her most extraordinary literary arts. She writes spiritual articles and blogs on gratitude. She's published online and also in local newspapers. She's written a daily gratitude reflection to her subscriber email list for over 7 years, and that's impressive. And she was first introduced to gratitude on a daily basis at the Center for Spiritual Living in Rogue Valley. And it's her intention that her gratitude journals and books will be a blessing to all those who wish to lift up their consciousness by practicing gratitude. The spiritual classes she facilitates encourage others in their transformation to awakening. She holds a bachelor's degree, cum laude from Sonoma State University in English and creative writing, of course. I love that. And studio art. Emphasis is photography, and I love that so much. She's also a graphic designer. She's Illumination Graphics, award-winning, prospering businesses that she loves. So, without further ado, let's bring Deborah up to the stage. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Debbie. I'm really happy to be here.
I'm excited that you're here, and you literally are the things that you do touch my heart. My favorite things are graphic design and photography.
Yeah, I
So,
didn't know we had that in common. That's amazing.
and also, I just got my bachelor's degree,
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
and I was cum laude too. So
Oh, cool.
I'm like just sitting here looking at this, thinking, how beautiful is it that you meet somebody with so much synchronicity? And,
Yeah.
and I love that. But I'll let you go ahead and tell everybody about you a little bit, and then we'll take a deeper dive into gratitude.
Okay. So, you know, about up until I was about 50, I would say I was a hedonistic, let's put it that way. And I had a big shift in my life, going more deeply into spirituality, and I'm still there. So, what happened was with gratitude is a minister at the Center for Spiritual Living twice in November gave us out blank journals. And
Yeah,
she said, if you write something you're grateful, 5 things you're grateful for 40 days, I promise your life will change in beautiful ways. And so I did it the first year, and then I did it the second year, and I was like, oh my God. And also, my life did change in really beautiful, amazing ways. So I decided, since I'm a graphic designer, to do my first Grace of Gratitude journal. And by synchronicity, I met someone who's now very close to me, Tara Thalen, who does beautiful artwork. And so it's interspersed with her gorgeous full color artwork, some inspiring thoughts from me, and then blank pages for the reader to write. And then I just continued on that path of publishing more books and doing the reflections every day. And it's actually been, I forgot to update that. I think I've been doing it for 9 years or so. So that always gets me in a grateful place. Even if I'm maybe a little bit grumpy before I sit down to write the days, I change, I transform. So, I get in a way better place every single time. So
I'm digging it.
it just means the world to me to be someone who shares gratitude with people. And I just love it.
Well, I happen to love that you love that. And the reason, a couple of things I want to know is, so when your pastor said, "Hey, practice gratitude for 40 days and your life is going to change." I know this is true. How did that happen for you? What was the changes that you saw?
Let's
What
see.
were the changes that you saw?
Um, just instead of, I used to be kind of a complainer in those first 50 years of my life.
You were perfectly human. Ah!
No, but I was kind of a whiner and a complainer, and I really had nothing to gripe about. And after I started writing my gratitudes down every day, I just got into the vibration of appreciation and stopped griping and whining so much and realized my life is good. So I think that's basically how it transformed me, you know?
I'm digging it because I had that same experience when I started focusing on things that I could appreciate. I want to talk, I have something that's been coming up for me the last couple of days. And years ago, almost a decade ago, the father of my children passed away.
Oh, wow.
And we held his hand and all of that. I'm
Yeah.
going to promise you, there was times before he had died. There were times we knew he wasn't well, but
Yeah.
there were girl, he would annoy the living bejesus out of me. And you know what that brought me to? Well, first, the gratitude and grief is realizing one, that I wasn't living.
Yeah.
The second was what I would give. And I was talking to my son about this too. What would we give to be annoyed by your father just one more time?
Right. Exactly.
Why are we waiting? Why are we waiting to hold space and gratitude for those people? Because all of us annoy each other. I don't know about you, but I am
Yeah.
perfectly imperfectly human.
Yes.
So my big thought was, why are we waiting till somebody actually leaves the planet to realize that we've just missed the opportunity in front of us to do a mind shift and do a perspective shift? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I so agree, and my husband does annoy me a lot. But and I'm still married to him now. It's been about 20 years. But when he had a health big challenge in last December, and he had to go to the hospital twice.
Mm,
And that at that point, well, for one thing, I realized how funny the guy is. Like, I watched him with all the nurses and the doctors,
yeah.
and it reawakened me to the delight I have in his personality. So I totally agree that why wait? And I do write gratitudes about him all the time. It's like, yeah, savor what we have totally before they leave us. Yes.
In the people.
Yeah.
Yesterday, we have an Airbnb and we're
Mhm.
cle- we're cleaning for the Airbnb, and these people are going to come early, right?
Mhm.
And I keep being reminded by my husband of what time that they're going to be here.
Right. Right.
And I'm like, I heard you the first 10
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
But instead of me, I felt myself that annoyance, like, oh God, right? Coming up. And I went, I appreciate your dedication
Yeah. Yeah.
to being on time, to having that value
Yes.
for for our business, and the value to respect the time that the people are going to get here. That shifted. And at first he's like, are you being sarcastic? Because I can be also
Right.
very sarcastic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, this is such a big thing on my heart right now that, granted, people annoy us. Granted, I annoy myself.
Mhm.
But when
Yeah.
we,
I know what you mean.
but if I can find gratitude in the human being, and that
Yes.
and that was something that my gratitude practice, it's funny because how Facebook messages come up.
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting how long we've been practicing gratitude?
Yeah. Yeah.
When you sit back and you look at that and you go, wow, this has actually been going on a lot longer than I think my dedication to the gratitude practice
Mhm.
was.
Yeah.
But somebody once said, I love finding things I'm grateful for, but what about the who? So what do you think about gratitude towards the people in our life, but also the act of reciprocity?
Right. So I really I try to honor and be grateful for everyone in my life And I mean, even the people that cause, that I don't agree with, because I think that that's a spiritual challenge, to be able to be appreciative of even people that are hard to deal with, right? But I'm so appreciative for my sisters. For one, we're super close, and that's really sacred to me. And as far as reciprocity, which is hard for me to say,
Yeah.
do you mean them being grateful as well, or?
The law of reciprocity in my world means that it's sort of the ebb and flow of grace, the grace and gratitude. When we're extending it, it's coming back to us, and not always from the same person that we're extending it
Yeah.
to.
Okay.
Have you,
Yes.
have you, yeah. So reciprocity is just simply that beautiful flow of life that happens.
Well, the giving and the receiving, that's what you're talking about, right?
K-
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. Totally. I love that. And I practice it as much as I can. Yeah. And I watch how the blessings come in as I send out blessings.
I
Yes.
love that. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your book. And if you could show everybody, you guys, her website is graceofgratitude.com, which is grace of gratitude. I can't. I am so enamored by you. But can you show everybody your book?
Yeah. Do you mean the plural books?
The
All of the
ones that
books?
one of the
Or
books
the
you have.
little guy?
The little guy.
This is my, it's like a pocketbook, The Grace of Gratitude Reflections. And what it has is like 108 pages, and you can like pick one, you know, and just give yourself a boost, hopefully. And that's the one that I give out for free as a PDF on my site.
So if you all go to graceofgratitude.com, you can get a free download of this book. You know what I love? Pick a page and give us a sample of,
Okay, I'd love
yes.
to.
Oh, good.
Okay. Today, I celebrate the harmonious feeling of thankfulness. Gratitude raises my vibration and is such a powerful spiritual tool to uplevel every moment of my life. It sounds so simple, and it is. All I have to do is remember to go there. Thank you, thank you, thank you, life, for every gift and blessing, large and small, far and near. Infinite gratitude for all.
Mm, infinite gratitude for all. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
When you feel into that, what comes up for you?
As I've spiritually matured, I feel the magic and mystery of all of life, that extends. I mean, it blows my mind that there's universe upon universe, that there's infinity. So it's the little things, it's the medium things, and it's the huge things. And when I get there, when I really look into the all of life, the oneness of life, I mean, that's where my vibration just goes so high. And so that's what it reminds me of when I read it.
I love that. And I noticed that when you were talking about it, even your energy shifts, even everything about it shifts because you're really dropping in and filling into that. I notice also that you have believe back there in your window. I have the
Oh,
word,
yeah.
I've got love, same exact up in my window.
Oh, nice.
Exactly. I have trees outside just like you do too.
Oh, sweet.
As
Where do you live?
I'm in Alamosa, Colorado. I my
Okay.
my
Yeah.
Airbnb is called the Gratitude Ranch,
Oh, nice.
and it's it's right near the Great Sand Dunes. So being in nature is one of the things that I know for a reset. Tell me about, because I already know you live in an extraordinary area.
Yeah, so I do. I live in Southern Oregon. I actually came from the Bay Area, California for
Yep.
most of my life. And then my husband intuitively felt I belonged up here in Southern Oregon. So he asked me to move about 25 years ago. And it was a good time to change my whole life. And I said yes. And it's just my place. We live in a geodesic dome. And this is my little studio office where I do my graphic design work. And there is just, when I look out, there's trees and sunshine and blue skies everywhere. And then we also have rivers right by. We have 4 different rivers, and I love to swim. So I go swimming when it's hot, like today. A lot of times I'll go swimming, and it's paradise. It's heaven on earth, you know?
I'm
And it
pretty stoked
totally
about.
inspires my gratitude.
How did you decide on a a geodome?
It just that one came up in the listings, and it was really, at that time it was hard to find houses around here. They get snapped up.
Yeah,
So I saw it one night, and I was just like, we've got to go. And we went the next morning, and there was already quite a few people already here, and I was like, oh no. Anyway, I saw it. It was just amazing. I didn't really, it in with my first husband, we actually did live in a 8-sided house that had roundness, but this is a geodesic dome, and it's just beautiful. They say it's sacred geometry, and I feel like it is. There's not
that's
very many straight walls at all, you know, but it's just beautiful, and every window looks out on the trees. So
that's
it's just something
miraculous.
else. Yeah.
So tell me more about when you're out in nature because we all go through stuff in life as human beings. And the whole point of teaching about the practice of gratitude is to help people have an easier human existence, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
So, what are some of the let's start with some daily practices because I feel like that in order to shift, we have to go into a daily practice.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Tell
So,
me, yeah,
one thing I do, and this might be advanced, but I'm going to say it anyway,
yeah.
is I write gratitude letters to spirit or the divine. Not every morning, but I did do it every morning for about a year or so. Now I do it like every week or month. But what I do is I just thank spirit for what I'm grateful for at this time, which would be my health and abundance and stuff like that. My beautiful dog, my little dog that I love, and my
Yeah.
husband, and etc. And then at the end, I go into what I'm grateful for in the future as if it's already true. And
That
that is really a powerful way to be grateful, because I've watched as I've done these letters, so many things come true from what I wanted to have happen. They ended up coming true.
I really love this because the it's like gratitude in motion is like the action of gratitude. And
Yeah.
it's what I'm hearing you say is that when you are setting the attitude of gratitude, which our lovely Jody Cortez said, gratitude attitude, love
Uh-huh.
that. Um, that what you're seeing is your life unfolding more cohesively to what you're really wanting.
Yes, exactly.
And
Uh,
I dig it.
more simple ways are, you can take a gratitude walk, and just look at all the nature and just be thankful, because literally every single inch of the earth is filled with life. It's like, just look around you and just be thankful for each different part of nature. I mean, that's a really good way to really get into the gratitude groove, I think.
That is a good groove.
Yeah.
And I say spark that G vibe.
I
Sure.
like that.
It's our gratitude vibe, or good vibe, or God
Yeah.
vibe, whatever vibe you want it to be. For
Yeah.
those who are just joining, graceofgratitude.com is floating across the bottom of the screen. You can actually go download a free PDF book, Grace of Gratitude. Go ahead and hold that up one more
I'll show
time.
it again.
Yeah. Grace of Gratitude Reflections. Extraordinary. You guys can get this for free, but she also does have a newsletter sign up that you can get. As I read in the very beginning, she does gratitude blogs. I think was it
Reflections.
reflections. Is it daily or weekly?
Yeah, daily. They're shorter than a big
Wow.
blog. They're like a couple paragraphs, but
You're
it's just to get people thinking,
you're
you
so
know.
inspiring. Oh my word. I don't even know what to say about that. I That's a seriously great practice. What do you say to those who are having a hard time right now because life isn't showing them what they want?
Yeah, so it just helps to stay in gratitude, to just think about what's right instead of what's wrong. Like, it's really easy for me to go really into upset and stuff about what is going on in the outside world. But if we just focus on what we appreciate, that just brings more to us, you know? So that's really my advice. It sounds simple, but it's really, it works. This stuff works.
This stuff works. I mean, literally, you don't, everybody, this is accessible for you. For every single human on the planet, deep appreciation is acceptable or accessible.
Yes.
What happens is that when our needs aren't getting met and we get stuck in the stuckedness of being human, it seems
Yeah.
like it can be really hard. So if you have somebody who's just looping on the victim syndrome, they need
Right.
seriously an emergency butthurt kit so badly you just know they do,
Yeah.
rather than calling the ambulance, which, well,
The wambulance. That's hysterical.
the ambulance is, well, I know I have to call the ambulance on myself because we all are human and we all get
Yeah.
into a place. But what if, what if everyone, that there is another solution? And I encourage that you might download this book, because having one tiny daily practice, because that what you started with? I started with the tiny one.
Well, yeah, I started with a tiny one a long time ago. And even if you say you want to meditate,
Yeah.
even 1 minute of meditation a day will get you going so that you can do longer, you know? Yeah.
Girl, that rocks my world. And for
Yeah.
any of you stuck in that loop de loop, and you find yourself thinking and saying, because I know my brain gets stuck on loops, and the only
Yeah.
way for me to break that pattern, to get a pattern interrupt,
Mm-hmm.
is to go into, well, sometimes I'm so not grateful that I have to say, I wish I were grateful.
Right. Or I'm grateful that I'm usually grateful.
Yeah, that's awesome. Y'all getting it, right? You can look, we understand. Everybody, well, oh, wait, let's talk about, this is one of my favorite ones. But gratitude's bypassing.
Right.
Does
No. No. I've had someone tell me, I said there's no way you can be angry or sad if you're being grateful. And someone in the audience goes, yes, you can. And I realized later that that I should have gifted her my Grace of Gratitude journal and had her try it. You know what I mean? Because it's really pretty impossible, you know, and it's not bypassing because you're being real about what you're thankful for. How could that be bypassing? And I do know what bypassing is. You know, I've done it in my life, but I don't
me
think
too.
being grateful is.
I don't either. There's a lot of people who say that it's just it's just, Dr. Robert Emmons talks about this a lot, who wrote the Tiny Book of Gratitude and the Big Book of Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
And he's actually done 35 years of research into the science backed ways that gratitude can change somebody's trajectory, not just the trajectory of their life, but it helps their bodies, because
Yeah.
their nervous systems
Yep.
become softer and become easier. The
Yep.
gratitude, okay, when I can't get into gratitude, it's just because I'm not accepting what is.
Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
So what do you
Yep.
do about that?
Um, I just make myself, I force myself to think of what I'm grateful for. That's what I would do in that situation.
I agree with you. Get out of our own way, right?
Yeah, exactly. Um,
And yeah,
I was going to mention that I think you know, but I'm about to publish a new book, and it's called Grateful Beyond Reason. And it's about finding radical gratitude when things are really wrong in life, you know. And I have my own stories from other people that I know. Chris Palmer is good. I'm putting in an excerpt from him. But it's like there is a way to find gratitude in almost everything, you know, if we really, really, really look. And I also offer some forgiveness practices and acceptance, because acceptance is key to feeling grateful about things. accepting what is. That's been one of my biggest lessons in the last few years, starting with COVID. When COVID happened, I was like, no, I don't
Right.
accept this, right? But we had
Exactly.
to. We had to. So there's things that I found through COVID that have been a benefit, like, for instance, Zoom or this platform. Now I teach some spiritual classes through Zoom where people from all over the country will join. Well, we didn't have that really happening before COVID. So, there's so many blessings to be found in everything, no matter how hard it is. And I do feel for people. I'm not trying to say just spiritual bypass this, but if you really reflect later, for instance, like my mother died when I was 35. That was pretty, she died when she was only 57. I think that's pretty young for a mom to die. I didn't expect it, and it was completely heartbreaking.
I bet.
um, Yet it helped me get into a new spiritual path, and my sisters and I got very much closer. And my mother and I always thought she was going to be around forever, so I turned her down on things she asked me to do, and I ended up being her main caregiver at the end. So that was totally precious. So there were things that happened even in that very, very sorrowful, one of the, worst things that's happened in my life, the saddest things. So,
I agree that through the process of somebody else leaving the planet, that we have the opportunity to see what is really precious and what isn't.
yeah, exactly.
We get so focused on what is wrong, what
Yeah,
isn't working, what somebody else might be doing,
yeah,
and that external focus takes us away from the true essence of why we're here. To,
yeah,
to be love, to be that beautiful, benevolent being that we were born in as. All of the rest of it's just teaching.
yeah, exactly. I
In
so agree.
grade, yeah, you were taught this pattern, you were taught this behavioral aspect of yourself. Here's the thing, we can all shift and change it. And that's what this show is about. It's about taking a step back and realizing that you have the ability to do one small shift, one small transition. That's it. And it's about
Yeah,
finding appreciation, and the unappreciable is possible.
exactly. We're way on the same page.
Totally. I want to share something about Chris Palmer real quick, everybody.
Yeah,
One of the things you can also do is you can text 502-289-6799. You text the word joy 25, and you're going to get daily gratitude infusions. Daily text, one daily text message a day. Deb has been some of the inspiration for this.
yeah, he let me do it for a week.
Yes.
I love Chris, and I love those text messages. They're so short. That's a really good thing to do as your first, practice. Yep.
And download the book that we were talking about that's on Deb's website here at gratitudespace. I just put up, that's Chris's website, y'all.
Graceofgratitude.com.
Here we go.
There we go.
Graceofgratitude.com, excuse me. So you can get your daily reflections, and you can also download the book Grace of Gratitude Reflections.
Yep.
It's tall, tiny, bite-sized changes. So what I'd like to do is ask everybody that's on here to go and sign up at graceofgratitude.com, because what I want to do is encourage you to dedicate, like Deb did, 40 days. 40 days of a one itty bitty baby practice of gratitude through Deb's work that she's put out. Plus, she has other books, which I want to talk about. But I really want everybody to do this, please. Whether you're watching now or on the replay, if your life isn't giving you what you want, it's you. It's the way
Mm-hmm.
you're looking at it. And I know a lot of people have a hard time with that, which I have no problem. I'll call you a ambulance. Because the fact is that we all get butt hurt. We all need a hemorrhoidal pad for our butt hurt ass. I
Mm-hmm.
know I get there. I do it all the time. And the only thing that pulls me out is to get in nature, do a gratitude walk like you were talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Let's talk about another daily practice that we can do.
Let's see. Well, I read some inspiring. I have other daily guides, not just the gratitude ones, that I read every single day. So I do some spiritual reading every morning, and then
Yes.
I
What,
meditate.
tell me what?
Well, like, okay, for instance, there's one called 365 Science of Mind, and
Yes.
it's by Ernest Holmes. And
Oh,
that's
okay.
Center for Spiritual Living stuff. But I've done those daily gratitudes year after year, honestly, because they are so packed with beautiful, inspiring words and thoughts and ideas. I just love that one. So, and see, I use a lot of what I read in the morning. I'll use them. I usually do a quote at the top. Like I
Mm-hmm.
might use one of Ernest Holmes' quotes, and
Yep.
then I say some stuff about it, how it influenced me, how it inspired me. So I think reading spiritual books is a really good way, and I have tons of books, but
I love that. Mine, I love that you shared that. Everybody, that's 365 by Ernest 365
Science of Mind.
Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. Mine
Yeah,
is Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life: The Teachings of the Tao Te Ching
nice.
By Dr. Wayne Dyer.
I
Today
love
was
Wayne Dyer. Yeah,
Yes. Today was the 26th verse about living calmly, not suggesting that we avoid that which is upsetting to us, but rather that we feel into the space of serenity, the space of love, the
yeah,
space of remembering who we are.
yeah,
And a beautiful friend of mine, another beautiful friend of mine is on, and he says, well, this is a new practice for me, so it's baby steps. Let's share to that. What about the, because newbies to practicing gratitude, it does feel like that you are. I'm gonna say, Phil, you need to go to graceofgratitude.com and sign up and dedicate 40 days. 40 days and just see if things shift for you with no expectation. Just
yeah.
the allowingness. And let's talk about allowingness too.
Yeah, so yeah, like I think that allowing in your life is so crucial, it's so amazing. And that's not allowing, abuse or something like that, but allowing the good of spirit to envelop you, to permeate you, you
Mm.
know? And so I think with the baby steps, I think baby steps are excellent to get you going on a spiritual path or on a grateful path. And if you're open, then you're inviting that in and you're trying it, and I know it'll work. I have no doubts.
I know that it works too. I absolutely do because all of us have experienced trauma, as you said, COVID. Well,
Hmm. Yeah,
we've we've all been through
all had to
COVID.
go through that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Whether it affected you personally or not, somebody you know was affected and not in a way that felt good for them. We may know it was a great reset, but other people are like, that was a
Yeah.
horrible. It created the understanding of post traumatic stress disorder.
Hmm.
And all of us could use gratitude just to help restructure our nervous systems, just so that we're not
Exactly.
on fire all the time.
Yeah.
And finding the gratitude in the littlest of things. I mean, you could find gratitude in the fact that you have a kitty cat,
Yeah.
a kitty cat, or a
Exactly.
puppy dog that loves you.
And
Period.
also, like if you were writing 5 things each day, you can talk about the kitty cat in all different ways for that 5 things.
Oh, let's
You know
talk
what I
about
mean?
that. Talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's give it five different ways to you have a puppy dog.
Yeah.
Five different ways that you love on your puppy dog and have gratitude for it.
Yeah. So let's see. I'm so grateful for how she jumps in the air when she's excited to go to the car for a car ride. um, she takes, I'm grateful for how after our walks, we have a pond and she dips in there like it's her own private pool.
Okay.
I'm grateful for her beauty that she's not even aware of. And I'm grateful for how she loves belly rubs and that I see her little pink freckled belly every day. And one of her ears tips up. like tips down. One's straight and the other one's tips down. And I'm grateful for that. So that's 5, I think.
I love that. And
Yeah.
I'm grateful for my puppy dogs because they give me kisses
Yeah.
when I need them. They always know when I need a hug, so they give me a hug. But the way that they greet me, they're never sad to see me.
Yeah.
They don't ever look at me and go, "Oh God."
Yeah.
They never go any of that. They are just always happy to see me.
Yes.
The way that they wiggle their little butts, I mean, how cute is that? Jeez
I
Maurice.
know.
I am so grateful for the fact that they have this unconditional love for me.
Yeah.
And it's such a joy to just take care of them and to be able to be with these beautiful creatures that have entrusted their life to for us to take care of them. And I'm grateful that I have the ability to be a great fur mommy to these
Yeah.
beautiful animals,
Yep.
which leads me into wanting to talk about ways that we can initiate gratitude for ourselves. But before that we go there, all I want to do really quick is bring up Jody's going through oppression feelings from the injustice in his neighborhood. Staying grateful that this moment is peace, love, forward, absolutely. And Jody is the divine creator of Love Waggles, as well as being an incredible musician who has played with some of the biggest bands of our time.
Wow.
Absolutely love him. And one love, dogs rule. I love you too. We love you too.
Yeah.
And Phil, I'm grateful for you, old friend. Thank you for being able to take time to help your buddy through a tough time. How that we show up for people we love is also how, but it's also indicative of how we show up for ourselves. How do you practice gratitude for you?
Yeah, I think, Debbie, self love is just so important. And I have not always had a lot of self love. I've been growing it through these last big 25 years of my transformation. And, I could, oh, one thing I did when we had a retreat, I hold retreats sometimes, I
Oh,
had the women write love letters to themselves,
yes.
and I wrote one too. And then I mailed them out later, a few months later. And man, the day I got mine, I was like, oh, wow, wow, wow. It
I
felt so good. So that's one way to nurture yourself is write yourself a love letter of all the great things you appreciate about yourself. You know, it's not going to be everything. We all have bad days, get grumpy, like you said. But what do you appreciate about yourself? And you can find a lot.
And what I know is that we get so off into the loop of what's not working that we forget how vitally important we are. So I say we write ourselves that love letter. You all, this is a really good tool. It's something that you can implement right away.
Yep.
We all know how to write, and if you
Yeah.
don't, you know how your iPhone has voice record on it, so you can
Yeah.
use that.
Hmm.
And there's been times when I've just spoken into my voice record simply because I've needed
Yeah.
to remind yourself of why that you are worth it. Self-love is not selfish. Self
Hmm.
first is not selfish. So I really love that you're talking about that. What are when you sit down and you think about loving into yourself, what does that look like?
Well, it's just, to me, it's kind of natural. And I think about the oneness of life. I just think how I'm part of that. Each of us is an essential spark of the divine. That's what I believe. And so I think about how I'm a spark, and I just love on myself.
Spark that G vibe.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, it's all about the vibe. There is something about remembering your greatness and remembering that the I am worthy, I am deserving. When you're writing that love letter, get juicy. Like pretend you're like a teenager in school and you're like, after that, really like, oh my gosh, I know they're never going to like me the way I want them to like me, but I'm going to write them a love letter. And
Yeah.
then, I mean, I used to fold love letters and like
Hmm.
envelopes and stuff. But the neat part about it is that when you start putting it from your mind down onto paper, it brings it into a reality, it brings it into fruition. And there's something that's very exciting about that because a little
Yeah.
while ago you said that you saw evidence of how gratitude worked in your life.
Hmm.
So, what is the evidence that you've seen for other people?
How it's worked in their lives?
Yep,
Is that what you mean?
I do.
Um, yeah, I have quite a few friends that practice gratitude. And I just think it's the same thing when you're in that vibration, instead of looking at what's wrong, then your life just keeps getting better and better. And I've watched that in several of my friends. And I watch it when I send out daily gratitudes. I consider them my gratitude tribe, the ones that join. And
Yes.
people will send me emails and just say, wow, that was amazing. And they implement it into their lives, so it's just really, it's just so wonderful. I guess that's all I can say about that.
It's a heart spark.
Yeah.
It's because when we are, when we're not in our compassionate, empathetic part of our brain, which is up in the frontal lobe up here, everybody, we're back here in our rah, 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 and we get stuck in loop-de-loops because we're all human and we all get our nervous system stuck, all of us. And what I'm encouraging is that you're listening to Deb and you're listening to me and you're thinking about the fact that what we're saying to you is there is the possibility that through practice that you can shift and alter that. Getting ourselves out of our rah rah, the fastest way I've ever done it is to find a way to appreciate exactly what I can't appreciate, and
Hmm.
which is truly a stretch of the ego edging God out.
Yeah.
But how do you implement that space? When did you see that shift? Like I heard you say early on, you were complaining
Yeah.
and that you needed a ambulance a little bit.
Yeah.
For
Well,
me,
it's
yeah,
just growing into gratitude. That's what did it for me, really. And realizing that we're not a victim, like really, we aren't victims. We do have dominion over ourselves. We don't have dominion over anything going on in the world, but we do have how we react to it. And so you can find your own inner peace and joy even when it doesn't seem possible with all the stuff going on in the outside world, you know?
that's it in a nutshell. I love this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jody says, getting out of your own way,
Be present.
be present.
That's really good.
The presence and being the present and being present. The
Hmm.
present. I don't know if I said that right. There's a present and presence, but you can't be present if you're stuck in a mode of victim syndrome. The VS is contagious.
Yeah, yeah,
The VS, it is literally I think victim syndrome is the disease of,
exactly.
I don't think that the disease is addiction. And I don't think the disease are things that we give this power to. The disease is in the idea that this is happening to you, not
Th-
for you.
or through you, even, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
So Phil says, I love this, but for someone who's never practiced this, do you have any idea how hard this is to try?
Just baby steps, I think. Baby steps are the answer. Just pick one little thing and start doing that of all the different ideas we've given you. And that will get you on the way. Yes, it's hard. It wasn't easy for me at the beginning either. And I'm not saying I don't get grumpy and all that still. I do. But I think just baby steps is really a good answer to that.
I love that. And I agree with you. It is about the baby steps. But I also know there's an addiction to feeling shitty.
Yeah.
There's an addiction to look at what everybody else is doing, but not willing to look at me and how that I'm processing it. When
Hmm.
I'm looking at you aren't fulfilling when I'm looking at somebody else, my eyes are off of me, which
Yeah.
means I'm not at one with source, I'm not at one with God. I'm literally back in my ego, back into my fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, back into all this is happening to me, not for me. And that shift of how is this working for me? Use curiosity,
Mm-hmm.
gratitude, and curiosity. How is this working for me? How can I implement gratitude into this thing that I'm really upset about? We honor, I honor myself when I'm feeling that way. I honor that anybody that's going through a hard time, that this is a tough thing. But in that honoring, there may be a solution that you haven't considered. By using the tool of curiosity and asking yourself the questions, you'd be surprised at how you find the answers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have you ever seen that happen for you?
Yeah, like I think that I totally believe that we all have a wise higher self within us.
Totally.
And
Talk about
so
that.
sometimes I will meditate and I'll ask my higher self, what's the answer in this? And I'm open, I get my ego out of the way, and I actually hear guidance sometimes, which is just wonderful. So I think that's what I would say about
That's what she would say about that, and I completely agree.
that.
When we get quiet enough and stop the focus, if you're going to break a cycle, if you're going to break that energy, the only way to do it is to shift perspective.
Yep.
Is to realize that you're simply human. You're
Hmm.
having a human experience. How do you want it to go? How do you want it to be? With all the tools given today, you have some answers at your fingertips that you can implement immediately. Not choosing to is your addiction to feeling like shit. And that is an addiction. Addiction is a symptom that there is something deeper happening going on. There is
Hmm.
something underneath the addictive behavior. There's unmet needs. And what I love to bring up is the fact that all of us as human beings simply want to be loved.
True. Yeah.
But when we don't know how to express that need to be loved, it can sometimes cause a conundrum and,
Yeah, exactly.
and conflict.
And one of your listeners said, I think they said, be love, you know? And
Be
I think,
love.
yeah, and I think that's so true. If you want to be loved, give love. It's that reciproc, I can't say it right, but the reciprocal idea.
The reciprocal idea, the law of reciprocity, and I love that. And you know what? I struggle with that. Oh, my word. Did I struggle with that word
Oh, you
for the,
did?
the longest time? I couldn't get a little bit of bidi-bidi-bidi-bida. It wasn't going to come out of my mouth.
I'm
I'll
going
never
through
forget.
that too.
Yeah, I've had that. Oh my God. It was a long time of me practicing it, but it's true. And what I love what Jody's saying, journal. Simple one-liners. What am I
Yeah.
grateful for today?
Yes.
How can I be present, free of fear and anxiety? Love rules over ego.
It
Pshaw.
does. It does.
Jody says, breathe, letting go of what we have no power over. How, what did it feel like to gain your power back by this practice?
Well, I used to be really shy. Like I couldn't even talk to you right now, was how shy I was.
Oh,
So to gain, the gratitude practice and then to be able to give, and to be able to talk and to be able to shine and show who I truly am
yeah.
was a huge gift, you know?
Well, you just said something vital. Be of service.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
What
That's
ways, what ways are you of service out there?
well, first of all, I wanted to say one thing about the minister that gave me the journal.
Yeah.
Once I was complaining about not having enough money,
Yeah.
and I've actually had two ministers say this to me. They go, "You know what you need to do? You need to give." Right? And
Uh,
so,
yep.
when you give, you get everything back, like we're talking about. And so that is a way to get out of the scarcity thought mode that I can sometimes get into. But what was your question? Because I wanted to say that and now I forgot.
Well, I actually love that. We're talking about being of service, and
Oh,
you,
yeah.
yeah, you really touched on being a service. Neil Donald Walsh talks about this one time he had attendee want to attend his conference, but the guy didn't have enough money. So he caught up with Neil Donald Walsh, and he's like, um, I want to come to your conference, but I don't have any money. And Neil Donald Walsh says, how much money do you have in your pocket? Well, I have 10 cents. And he goes, well, you need to go give that away.
Yeah, that's the same idea. Yes.
So he sent him away. The guy comes back a couple years later. He's he's dressed to the nines. He's not struggling any further, and he's in gratitude over the fact that what somebody who he found value in everything they said was to go give away the very thing that you seek
Yeah,
with no expectation in what you will receive back.
that's so powerful. Yeah. Yeah.
And I love that my Phil says you have a long road in front of you. What do you say to that?
I say baby steps and one day at a time.
Seriously. Like
Yeah.
1 second, 1 minute at a time.
Yeah.
We, none of us, not one of us, not one of us watching now or in the future, you don't know if you're going to be here tomorrow. You don't have a
Yeah.
clue if you're going to be here tonight.
Yeah.
I don't.
Right. No, I don't either. We
Yeah, I
can't.
haven't. No, I don't even understand why my spirit guides won't even tell me how long I'm on the planet. It's like, at least
Right.
give me some insight. Is it, like, huh? Well, come on. So, using something like practicing appreciation, appreciation is the fuel of gratitude. Appreciation is fueling the trajectory of where you want your life to go. And I swear it doesn't take all that long.
Yeah.
Be strong. Love the ones you're with. Love the one you're with. Love the one you're with. So before that, we're coming up to the end of the show, and I just want to say thank you, audience, for being present. But before that, you all leave, Deb, let's talk about some of the other books you have available at your lovely website.
Okay. Do you want me to show a couple?
I do. I do.
Okay.
Tell me how much fun this is. Seriously, you guys. I have gratitude just for this beautiful creature right here who is my guest today. Oh, my word.
I'm
Okay.
so grateful too. Okay. This is the first one that I put out, the Grace of Gratitude Journal. And you can see the beautiful artwork by Tara Thalen on the cover. Within
Stunning.
it is, here's some more beautiful art she did. And then there's the blank pages. So there's a whole lot of her beautiful art. And here's one of my little inspiring thoughts. I am grateful for the dazzling radiance of the warm sunshine today. And so I just have some inspiring thoughts to help you with what you're grateful for. And, I don't even, I think even, for the person who needs baby steps, even one thing you're grateful for each day, that's going to be powerful. So then I have a second Grace of Gratitude journal. And that's by Tara, did this beautiful art too. And it's very much the same, except for different pictures and different thoughts. My thoughts are actually longer in this one, so I'm not going to read one right now. And then this is my first daily gratitude reflections book. It's 365 guides to grateful living. And that one it's just a daily, every single day has an inspiring reflection by me, hopefully inspiring. And then this is my latest book, Daily Gratitude Reflections, Volume 2. And it's a daily guide as well. And this one has color photos in it and 2 gratitudes per page. Should I read one? Do we have
Yes,
time?
yes, yes.
Okay.
I absolutely, yes.
Day 50. I stand strong on my mountaintop of peace, joy, love, light, and positivity, with its bedrock of faith, trust, and serenity. I am very grateful to hold my arms and heart open wide to receive all the blessings of the universe as I circulate blessings, giving from my heart and soul. The strength and power that my consciousness contains bides me well in outer world turmoil. I invite you to stand strong with me.
Mm. That was so moving.
Thank you.
So, oh, that was incredible. And I have to say, the artwork is gorgeous.
Thanks.
Abs, I love it. Everybody, you can get those books, get your free daily reflections and a PDF of Grace of Gratitude reflections by visiting graceofgratitude.com. Graceofgratitude.com. And now, what I would love everybody to do is put their hands on their heart. And I want you to take a deep breath, and we're going to do a belly breath, y'all, because breathing up here in our chest isn't allowing the breath to go all the way through. As we take a deep breath in, I want you to just feel present in this moment. I want you to touch your heart, feel your body, gently feel your breath. And I want you to feel into your heart remembrance for the grace that God, Source, whatever name you choose to call, that which is divine, has given to you. The remembrance that you are worthy and deserving. Everything's temporary. Nothing is forever. And allow this gentle acceptance of being present to permeate through your being with deep gratitude. Thank you so much to everybody who has came today to be part of this extraordinary gift that Deborah has brought through to us. She is the gratitude gal.
Thank you, Debbie Gratitude.
You're welcome.
It's wonderful. I'm so glad to know you better now.
I'm
Yay.
so glad to know you better. And for all of those watching now or in the replay, I want you to remember something, that gratitude is the key. Gratitude is the key. Not anything else, not something in anywhere else but within you. Start with being grateful for yourself. Look around. We talked about a lot of different practices today, so if you're just joining, please go back and listen to the replay, which is immediately available. Make sure that you download the book. And I'm just going to bring up one more quickie time. You guys, we're going to talk about join the Gratitude Infusion Daily Gratitude Inspiration by texting 502-289-6799, the word joy25, and you will receive daily gratitude inspirations. Some of them will come from Deb, because I don't know if there's any greater way to implement gratitude than small bite-sized pieces, sort of like bite-sized pieces of candy. It's your day, it's your candy. All right,
Yay.
everybody, have a great one. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you, all of you. Love you.